There we go. Now we're live.
Right, let it go. Somebody's feeling moody.
I love it. Don't say anything bad about Facebook before we start, and then their feed crashes.
Evening, everybody.
Hello, folks. We are here. We'll wait for you guys to join us.
Some of you may already have joined us or given up waiting.
But anyway, it's Sunday. It's the Sunday share. We're Alistair and Penny from Wiccan Warriors.
Hello, everybody.
We're coming to talk to you this evening about some pagan-y, Wiccan-y stuff, I think.
Oi.
What are we going to talk about this evening?
I thought that we could talk about superstition.
Superstitions.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We can do that. I've got to take that off that screen because it just distracts me every single time.
Right, do that then.
So yeah, so if you're joining us, tell us about superstitions you've got. If there's any you live by, if there's kind of, you can't help it because they were so ingrained in there because your parents have said stuff.
Yeah.
I think because that's where it comes from.
It is. It's learnt behaviour. We do things from copying the people that are around us, the people we've grown up with, spent time with.
Yeah.
Blah blah.
Yeah, my grandma was. She was. It was always, everything came from her. The random sayings and old wives' tales and superstitions.
Are you saying that because I'm a grandma?
No, so it's my grandma that used to do. But
Right.
anyway, before we get into all of that, let us know about what your week's been like. We've had kind of a. It's actually not been quite a bad week. Been a little bit stressy at times, but actually on the whole, pretty good.
Yeah.
I've spent a bit of time in the hot tub, which sounds quite luxurious, but
It sounds opulent.
it does. But but it's more about, I find it really easy to meditate in water. Whether that's got something to do with being Piscean, I don't know. I don't think it has, but I just find it the most relaxing I can be to meditate is in a pool of water.
Yeah.
So, and a bath's not quite big enough, so the hot tub's perfect. A swimming pool would be better.
Well, there's a paddling pool in the shed. Knock yourself out.
Get 2 hot tubs and just lay with my feet in the other one.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
So yeah, so let us know what your week's been like. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I was going to say, I think we got 3.
So yeah, Michael's here. Good evening. See you the right way round this week. Well, we've actually got a bit of a new setup. Can I brag a little bit?
If you must.
It's been about a year. I've been trying to find somebody with some IT knowledge to help me build my own computer. And luckily we found a guy who helped me build my own computer. So we now have a proper microphone here, there's a proper webcam up there, there's a proper computer down here that's processing everything. So it's all really good.
Rather than waiting for the 3,000-year-old laptops to catch up.
They
and
were
go,
dead.
What is it that you're trying to do there?
They were dead. And it was a choice between my computer or the car. But the car just needed a new battery and it's fine.
Yeah.
So that can make do.
Yeah.
So hi Michael, hi Marion, hi Rosie.
Lovely Rose.
Yeah, what else? We've been doing gardening mostly today, haven't we?
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm letting the side down a little bit this evening
Oh, why?
because I've just got a plain boring t-shirt on. But the reason why I've got... Yeah, but you're a man, that's expected. But the reason why I've got a plain boring t-shirt on is because I had one of them strapless boob tubes, for want of a better name for them, I don't know what they're called, tube tops, doing the garden.
Boob squashers.
And didn't really appreciate quite how long I'd been in the sun. And my back is... let's just say it's a lovely shade of magenta now.
Us British people, we love a day of the sunshine. Burn me!
Well, it's not really, because I was working in the garden all day. I wasn't lying in the sun.
No.
I was actually doing stuff.
Yes. What were you actually doing?
I was weeding the garden. I was weeding the vegetable patch as well, getting rid of the nasty bindweed that tries to kill everything we've got.
Hate bindweed.
I've painted the Buddha that's in the garden because he looked a little sad and a little worse for wear, and now he looks beautiful. And I've painted the front door because it was looking grotty.
Well, look at that bad.
A
Just needed
clean
a
up.
few bits
But
touching
I
up.
can feel the heat emanating from my back. It is literally going...
Some after sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so have you guys been out? Have you got sunburn? Has anybody else done their the classic British thing and gone out and gone
Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
crisp and dried themselves in the one day of sunshine that we have.
Yeah. This is here for a fortnight, so
Yeah,
you need to be
they
a bit
say
more
that.
sensible.
Right, yeah, I'm going to have to water the garden and stuff later, because that's going to get a bit dry.
I've just watered it.
So anyway,
I've
that's all
literally just watered the garden.
before we did
Just before we came on air.
that was a bit early. The heat of the day is still there, all
Not
that have
listening to
evaporated,
him.
but never mind, eh?
The heat of the day is not still there. The sun's moved round to the front now and the garden's in shade.
Oh, okay. I'll check it later and I'll let you guys know.
Oh, he
If I have
does
to
love
re-water
a
the garden.
bicker on a Sunday, doesn't he?
So anyway, shall we get on topic?
I think so, really.
So yeah, what superstitions do you guys know of? The one at the top of the list for me has got to be the umbrella one, because it was the first one that my grandma ever said to me.
Okay.
I remember as a kid opening an umbrella up inside was bad luck, but that was all she said. It was just bad luck. Michael spent yesterday with the nephews, which was excellent. We had a lazy, chilled out day today. Yeah, I was listening to jazz funk today. It was kind of properly chilled out today.
Yeah. While you lay in the hot tub watching me
Yeah.
working hard.
Marion, too hot. It's been too hot for you. It's been too hot for me. It's been too,
Too
hot
hot
for
for
everybody.
me, but to be fair, the garden was overrun.
Yeah, we all love it. We go, oh yeah, we want summer, and then when it gets here, we go, oh no, it's too hot.
Yeah.
It's the wrong kind of heat.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So Michael says, don't walk under a ladder.
Yeah, this was another one that came up. I always assumed that one would be because
7 years for breaking a mirror. You're going to list them all now.
yeah, we'll
aren't
keep
you?
coming back to Michael as he as he googles each one.
His
The top 20.
encyclopedic knowledge. Never trust a driver with a hat on. Don't go any further. Explain what that one's about, because I've never
Driver
heard
with a
of
hat
that.
on. I have my own personal superstition about anybody who has two first names. If they have a first name that's a first name, and then a surname that can also be used as a surname, as a first name, that I'm always a little bit
Like
suspicious.
Thomas is a surname.
Yeah, so if somebody was called Andrew Thomas,
Yeah.
I find them people quite suspicious.
If there is an Andrew Thomas watching.
Sorry, but we've got our eye on you.
Your
So, yeah.
dad said that, and it's true. But never trust a driver with a hat on. I think that is bad manners. It's the same as you shouldn't go into a house with your hat on. I remember I got a job in an office, and there was a young lad that used to come in with a cap on.
Are any of these going to be...
Every time he came in, he had the hat on, and every time he did, I shouted at him. And I mean, I properly shouted, "Get your hat off!" And it's really disrespectful. And then he started taking it off, and it's more about having something to hide. If you keep your hat on, you've got something to hide, you're hiding something.
Right.
I think. But I haven't heard that. Never trust a driver with a hat on.
No, I've not heard that one.
That's quite
The Friday the 13th is unlucky. Yeah, I learnt...
I don't agree. I
No,
think Friday the 13th is lucky.
It is, and it was adopted by tattooists and tattooed people. 'Cause I've got death head moth just there. I don't know if it can show up on the thing, but it's a tattoo I purposely had done on the 13th, on a Friday the 13th. All tattooists do sort of special deals on stuff.
Next time you're driving and there is an awful driver, guarantee he's got a hat on. Or she has got a hat
Yeah.
on.
Depends how good the driving is.
It does.
So anyway, yeah, the walking under the ladder, I always assumed that one was to do with it's kind of health and safety. It's kind of obvious. Stuff's going to fall off the top of the ladder and land on your
I
head.
thought so as well. But
Apparently it's
isn't.
not.
It's about a ladder leaning against a wall is a hark back to the gallows when somebody was going to be hanged. So the theory being that you don't want to walk under the gallows because it'll be your turn to be hanged. So it's unlucky. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Yeah, the Friday the 13th one as well, going back to that one.
So the number 13 is classed as unlucky because of the Christian faith, and apparently there is mention of it in the Bible and the Last Supper, because there was 13 people at the Last Supper,
Judas was
and
the
one
13th.
of them was Judas,
Yeah.
and he was the 13th, and he was clearly unlucky. Well, it was for the person that got popped on a cross. So that seeing the number 13 as an unlucky number tends to be apparently a Christian concept.
Yeah, the Friday the 13th is.
And
It was something I'd found out about as the
getting
Baptist.
adopted, and because it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Friday the 13th. It's quite an easy.
Oh, not to mention all the films.
And then they created all the horror films, obviously.
So it creates. That's why I say, are all of these all going to be pre-19th century? Do we have any like modern superstitions, like don't type Google into Google because you'll break the internet?
Oh my God! How many times have you said that to me?
Loads.
Said that
But
loads.
do we have any? I want some modern superstitions, things that you kind of go, you know, don't ever hard turn off your PlayStation because it doesn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Real sort of superstitions that mean something, that are relevant.
No, but you've just reminded me of another one. I'm writing them down because we've got a few that we've already pre-written. So I'm just going to put.
We should start creating some modern ones. Like if you see a red Tesla, it's good luck, and you've probably got batteries coming your way. I don't know.
I don't know really. Red ring of death. Right, no, there isn't. As far as I'm aware, there's not any pre-19th century.
No, that's the thing. They all come around.
Post-19th
Yeah.
century. Sorry.
They
Okay.
all tend to be around old wives'
Right.
tales.
Before we go on to that one, Michael's saying about his wife saluting a magpie. So we do have a few different things about magpies. Absolutely. It's good morning, Mr. Magpie. How is Mrs. Magpie? And there are variations of the salute to the magpie, and the theory being that it brings bad luck if you don't greet the magpie. So that was one of the first things that I put on my list, the greeting of the magpie. To go along with that, and loads of people do it. I mean, my daughter's a nightmare. If I go out with her in the car, she's saluting all over the shop. And but she doesn't say the rhyme. She understands the salute, but she doesn't understand that you need to say the bits that go along with it.
Yeah.
There's obviously the rhyme that goes with it.
Go on, you sing it.
No, you do it.
I don't know it.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I grew up in Scotland. There was no magpies up there.
But there is a Scottish tradition around magpies.
I didn't see a magpie until I got to England, I swear.
Okay, so it's 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy,
Oh,
3
that
for a
one.
girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. And you should count how many you see, and that tells you which of them it is. See, Michael's joining in.
No, I thought you meant the other one. Hello, Mr. Magpie.
No.
Where is Mrs. Magpie? Or whatever that little silly
Yeah,
ditty
no, there's
was.
loads of different versions of that,
Ah.
and it depends where you come from in the country to how much you expand on the greeting.
Yeah, no, where I grew up it was just crows and hoodies.
So, in regards
Which
to
are rooks.
Scotland, in Scotland, if a magpie lands near your window or lands on the windowsill of a house, a lone magpie, it means impending death. That's a Scottish tradition.
So if you're one of two people in that room and the magpie lands on her, you got to fight it out.
One of you's
It's
not
you
leaving.
or the magpie.
One of you's not leaving. So, yeah, magpies, we had that one. Let me cross things out as we go through them, because otherwise I get really confused. So what other ones did... could you scroll up for me? Let's go back to the beginning for what...
7 years. The mirror one. There's a couple surrounding mirrors
There's
as well.
a good few surrounding mirrors. So, mirrors.
For the Americans, mirror.
Mirror. Everything we seem to watch at the minute, they're looking in the mirror.
American, but a mirror.
Yeah, right, let it go.
Hi to the Americans.
Apologies to anybody who's offended by that. It is not an intentional offence.
It's not your fault, it's Netflix.
So, traditionally, mirrors are covered when somebody dies. Which you knew already.
Yeah. I figured it was because all the ladies don't want to walk around with their mascara running, seeing themselves in the mirror,
No,
looking
but
like Kiss.
That's a post 19th century one.
Oh, there we go then, yeah.
There you go, that's what that's about. No, it's about not shocking the soul. Because in the old days when your body was laid out in your home, the soul, everybody would come in to say goodbye. The soul would depart the body and it mustn't see itself in the mirror because it's shocked, and it can be shocked back into the body, and then they'll never achieve heaven.
Oh.
So you don't do that because that's not good. And certainly in Scotland, that's when I've been to funerals in Scotland, and I've been to a few, that is the tradition. You shut the curtains and you cover all the mirrors.
Fair enough.
Every time I say something, I think of another
What if
one.
it's more to do with mirrors being a potential portal to the other side, because they have the ability to reflect the parallel universe that we have sometimes if the light's right?
Potentially.
Just throwing that out there. I've had quite a lot of coffee.
In Feng Shui, you shouldn't have a mirror opposite your bed, so that when you open your eyes, you shouldn't be able to see yourself in the mirror, because your soul will see itself.
What about these people who have got mirrors above their beds?
Well, they're just
Dirty perverts.
They're going straight to hell anyway.
You
Sorry, I don't know why I went West Country for that bit.
Die in the bed, accidentally forget you put a mirror on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and then shock yourself back to life again, and then come back and go, I need to take that mirror off the life. I've died twice now.
Endless cycle.
Of nearly dying and bouncing back.
So
Sorry, tangent.
and with that, there is the breaking of a mirror. People believe it's 7 years bad luck.
Why is it 7?
That comes from the Romans, where the number 7 was considered to be the length of time it took for a life to renew. So in theory, reincarnation. So if you died in 7 years, you will come back as a renewed life. Don't know why they picked 7. I'm just giving you the information. So the theory was, if you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. It means you're going to die and you're not coming back for 7 years.
That sounds pretty bad.
Does sound pretty
Does it
bad.
matter on the size of the mirror?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
I've looked in lots of broken mirrors. But interestingly, I don't look in mirrors at night.
Why?
Once it gets dark, I don't look in the mirror.
Oh, I do. I want to see stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I don't.
I don't very often.
Thanks.
Occasionally I'll catch a glimpse or something.
I just don't, and I never have looked in a mirror. Once it gets dark, that's it. No mirrors for me. So our bathroom door is directly opposite a mirror. So I walk in the bathroom and my head goes down and I turn the light on and then shut the door, but I don't at any point look in the mirror. I just haven't, because I don't want to...
I look in the mirror at every given opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't...
I'm so vain.
Thank you, Carly Simon.
Good call. We could have done with that kind of knowledge when we were doing the pub quizzes.
Right, anyway, so...
Which we were rubbish at. We tried to do some pub
We
quizzes.
weren't. At least one of us got them right.
Yeah, if I'd have got the other half of the questions right, we'd have
We'd
got
have
a full score.
100%. Okay, so what else did we have? I'm sure that you put black cats.
Nope.
Walking under a ladder. You've gone... I can't see.
Right, well, that's where we were. Walking
Right.
under a ladder, mirrors,
Oh, try...
and then drivers with hats on. There
And
was,
magpies.
yeah, there was nothing else. So
Okay.
what about cats?
So...
Because this one's been very confused and gets told by different people.
So, the theory is that some people say a black cat is just unlucky, and that's that. And that's not a rhyme. The theory is, if a black cat crosses your path, it's good luck. But if you cross a black cat's path, it's bad luck. And I don't know why. I can only assume that that's linked to
You're going to claim credit, ain't you?
witchcraft.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do it.
Because cats, among many other animals,
Same as bats.
all different kinds of animals
Yeah.
were used as familiars by witches, but black cats were seen as synonymous with the devil because of the blackness. And if you wrong the devil, you're going to get bad luck. So if you cross his path, get in his way, delay his journey, that's going to be bad luck.
So the
but
devil
if you
is
let him
in...
cross yours, that's good luck, because it's not necessarily that you're going to get good luck, it means that you're not going to get bad luck.
So the essence of the devil is in every black cat, and if at any point you've got a standoff between you and a black cat...
He's in our cat, for sure.
Oh, yeah. See, it's ones like that that don't make any sense to me. That just kind of... It was the same as one I read earlier. I had a little Google about it, and it was about bats. Mm. If there's a lone bat flying around your house, that's linked to a witch checking out what's going on and things. And it is what I said earlier. There's no modern ones. They're all kind of...
There isn't. So, yes, where I got my cat from the
yeah,
shelter,
that's the other one.
Wait. I got my...
I want comments.
I got my cat from a shelter along with his mum. Both were black cats. And I was only actually going to get one cat, and the lovely lady that ran the shelter said, nobody wants black cats. They're a nightmare. If we have
got
any
the devil in them, apparently.
We can't get anybody to take them. And obviously, if you're taking one of these, the other one will be here for however long, because people don't want black cats. Obviously, I couldn't say, well, I'll leave that one here then, so I had to take both. Just saying.
And that's linked to the superstition because nobody wants to buy black cats.
Yes.
Fair enough, cool. Right, Michael's throwing another one in there. So, salt over the shoulder.
Oh, that's because the devil stands at your shoulder. So you're throwing salt in his eye. Devil's always behind you at your shoulder, ready to get you to do bad things. So you cast the salt over your shoulder to get the devil in the eye.
Is that the same as when it's a money spider then? Because you're supposed to throw them over your shoulder. Is that because he's not...
Money spider, you're supposed to wrap around your head 3 times.
How many people are doing that one?
I've done that one so many times. It's unbelievable.
Crumbed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about the devil being at your shoulder.
So it's another...
So you're casting out the devil.
It's basically another
I think
Christian
it's
one.
right hand, left shoulder. So if you spill salt, assume that the devil's at your shoulder. Don't waste the salt. Throw it in his eyes. Just saying. That's a good one. I've forgotten that one.
Michael, you've got quite a lot of knowledge on these. You're a very superstitious person, possibly. But do you live by these? Would you purposely not walk under a ladder? Obviously not just for a health and safety reason. Would you... What's the ones with like cracks in pavements and things like that as well?
Walk on a crack and break your mother's back.
Yeah, I think that's just it.
I think that's nonsense. And to be honest, if you've got to go down a path of crazy paving, you're buggered.
A lot of broken backs.
Yeah.
So do they pop up in every day? I think the magpie one does. Because whenever you see them, it is sort of, oh, there's only one magpie. Oh, no, they've got to be in pairs. Yeah. So we're still being influenced by stuff from... I think... So far long ago.
When my niece was pregnant, I saw 3 and said, I saw 3 magpies. That means it's going to be a girl. And at the time, it was a girl.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How did the magpies know?
Because they're really clever. Because they heard it. They heard it from a bat.
I think me and Michael have got the same kind of brain. He went,
a sponge.
Nope. Yep, just a sponge. I remember pointless, useless information, but
it's not useless now, though.
Well, no,
you're sharing it with the world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so another one is the one we talked about. I think it was last week we talked about it, or the week before, which is shoes on the table. No new shoes on the table. So I always believed it was that. It was because you were laid out at home, and when you were laid out at home you were put in new shoes because you were put in your finery for everybody to come and see you and say goodbye and pay you respect. So the only time new shoes went on the table were when somebody was dead. But we have looked into that, and there's
it came up again today, didn't it? I think it
depends on where in the country you are.
This was predominantly North Yorkshire.
Yeah, what the tradition means. So what does it mean up north?
In Yorkshire, and it was more to do with the miners. When a miner died, they put his shoes on the table as a like memorandum of whatever it's called, to that person. So
Memorial.
memorial. So to put your own shoes on the table was tempting your own fate. So yeah, so the kind of coal miners had a slightly, but it's still the same principle. The person died, so you've still got dead man's shoes on the table.
Dead man's shoes. Sorry, in my head was playing the song from Hocus Pocus.
I have no idea what that is.
Rhyme.
Don't you know?
So you said earlier about never put them on the kitchen table. Yeah, because that's where the bodies were laid out, believe it or not.
Ready for dinner? Sorry.
Thank you, Hannibal. You said earlier about an umbrella.
Yeah.
So I've looked into that a little bit because that one really bugs me, and it comes from ancient Egyptians used to make parasols out of feathers. Big feathers, obviously, not lots of tiny ones like peacock feathers, things like that, to protect them from the sun. And the theory was it was in praise of the sun god Ra when you showed these beautiful feathers. However, if you went inside, it was seen as
disrespectful to Ra.
And that's where don't have an umbrella up. When really, I'm just thinking, if you've had your umbrella up, it's probably wet and you're just swinging it all around the house.
But that's where the difference is, because they weren't using an umbrella for the rain.
They were using it for the sun.
For the sun. We only use umbrellas for rain.
Hmm.
No English person walks around with an umbrella in the sun, do they? But a lot of European people will. British people don't. We have an umbrella for the rain.
People do.
Yeah, and Oriental people.
And you get jabbed in the eye
Yeah.
if you've got it up indoors. Anyway, so that's umbrellas.
Umbrellas.
And we've done number 13, haven't we?
Yeah. What can go up a chimney down but can't come down a chimney up?
I'm not going to answer it.
We've given you the answer already.
We have given you the answer already. So, another one is lucky four-leaf clovers.
Yeah, I found out a stat on this because we were looking for this.
Is it 1 in 10,000?
Yeah. I thought that was quite amazing.
There is one four-leaf clover in every 10,000 three-leaf clovers.
Yeah. I think I'm a four-leaf clover.
Arrogant. Do you think you're lucky?
I am that rare. No, not about luck, just rare.
So yeah, I saw that stat too. See, we did proper homework and stuff. We did real researching.
What, if we're going to do a topic, we know what we're talking about?
Yeah. Some of it we did, to be fair, but we thought we'd better check and find out other information. Although,
Yeah.
when you guys send us information, it makes us feel more knowledgeable because you give us information that we didn't already have.
Well, yeah, that's what it's about. It's information sharing. I'm not here
That's
as the all-knowledge.
purpose of a discovery
We've got
circle.
another comment.
Okay.
So, what about never let a lamppost spilt you if you're walking holding hands? Oh, I see what you mean.
Apparently you have to say bread and butter. Oh, right. So if you're holding hands with somebody, so we was walking holding hands and
A lamppost
this was a
coming by.
lamppost in the way and we have to let go.
And go bread and butter? What? That's excellent.
I
I
like
hope...
that. That sounds like
Oh, please tell me you made that up and that was just a little playful
a
troll.
20th
Because that was
century
hilarious.
play on
Yeah.
superstition. Yeah.
I'm thinking about that. I've never heard of that, but I have had that where you're walking along, you don't want to break the holding hands moment. So you would both walk one way or the other. I've never heard of saying...
Darling, that's because you're needy.
Yes. Yeah, I've never heard of bread and butter.
Wow. That's
I always say we're
hilarious.
like peas and carrots.
Thank you, Forrest. Okay, so what about lucky rabbit's feet?
Not bloody lucky for the rabbit.
Exactly.
Although if you got to eat it, you get lucky feet and a dinner. Sorry, I won't be the favourite person on here. But I love rabbits. So nice.
Vegans and vegetarians everywhere are recoiling in disgust.
I will eat just as much salad as I will any other living animal. It's
So,
fine.
there is no real answer to why the rabbit's feet are considered lucky. However, it is linked to a couple of different things. And one of them is that it was believed to be an African custom to carry a rabbit's foot. I imagine as part of a ceremony to keep you safe when travelling. So when slaves were transported,
Right.
they would have a random rabbit's foot. So they believe that's where it came from. See, for me, that's quite unlucky. You got caught and shipped thousands of miles away from your family to be a slave. That's not lucky, surely. However, that's one thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently you should not have one if you're on a boat, and you shouldn't mention rabbits if you're on a boat. I don't know why. I couldn't find any reason why, but apparently sailors won't allow the word someone to say rabbit or I can't remember the others, but random things like crow.
Okay. If anybody knows why, that'd be tasty. Michael's with me on that one.
About the rabbits, excellent.
Best rabbit I ever tasted was in Tenerife.
So, and another thing that they think might be linked to the rabbit's foot from a European perspective is something that's called the Hand of Glory. When people were hung, their bodies were left for the local people as an example, so that they could say, if you do wrong, this is what happens. But what used to happen was the local people would go and chop off the left hand, specifically the left hand of the person that had been hanged, and they would take it home and pickle it and keep it in a jar, a pickled hand, and that was called the Hand of Glory. And the theory was that it kept you safe from being
Friends with anybody.
a little bit from getting caught doing something and being hanged.
I want one of those. If anybody's got one of those, pickled hand in a jar from years
Hand
ago,
of Glory.
I'd like to see one.
So yeah, they were finding the bodies, but never the left hand, generally.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Yeah, I'd never heard of the one to do with rabbits. And it was never...
So what else is linked to rabbits?
There was a thing my sister used to do this when I was a kid. She'd say white rabbit at the first of each month.
Okay.
And I never got what that was. It was just something they did when I was a kid.
Yep, so there's rabbit, bunny, white rabbits, and all of those things are said at the first of the month. In theory, so people can't punch you and do the pinch punch first day of the month.
Which is like an
if you
80s
say
kind of thing.
white rabbits, or any of those abbreviations.
Right.
But the first recorded instance of that was in 1909. That somebody said that you would say rabbit, rabbit, or bunny, bunny, but the pinch punch link to it comes allegedly from George Washington meeting with the native American Indians, and he used to meet them on the first of every month, and he would take things with him, including fruit punch that had a pinch of salt in it. So on the first of every month there would be pinch punch on the first of the month.
So yeah, if you've heard of that one, let us know. That's one for the Americans, because that was, who was it? George Washington?
Apparently so. Apparently it's recorded somewhere.
So did George Washington start that bullying game that we do at school, pinch punch first of the month?
And no returns.
And then that got changed into Punch Herbie, because it was Herbie cars at one point, and then Punch Minnie. Minnie's, we were just violent as kids, I think.
See, if people did that to me, if somebody did pinch punch first of the month, I would say a kick up the arse for being so fast, and then kick them.
Ah.
Yeah.
Violence. It's so
Violence
better treated with violence.
I do have a couple more. One I'd heard of years ago, and I don't know if this person tunes in to watch us at all, but every New Year she sends out the same message on social media to tell us not to do our washing. You don't do your washing on New Year's Day. And the theory is, and there are a couple of different versions of the rhyme, and it's, if you wash on New Year's Day, you will wash a life away. So in theory, if you do your laundry, somebody will die. Just saying, every year, and I don't do laundry on New Year's Day.
No.
But I just thought that was a good one. And another one that's linked to New Year is something that down here I was given as a child when I was in the brownies a little bag that had a pound coin in it, or a coin, because there weren't pound coins when I was young, there were pound notes, but there was a coin in it and a piece of coal.
Yeah, well, was that not New Year?
For New Year?
Yeah, we used to go, when I was a kid, we used to go first footing and used to have a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a bag of coal in the other.
Dark-haired
And
person
just have
in the front and out the back.
Yeah, it would just be a little bag. It was broken up bits of coal.
First footing, in
Yeah,
the front
you'd
and out
give
the
somebody
back.
a piece of coal and a drink.
To see the year through.
I did that once through Edinburgh. Went through so many people's houses and just had little drinks and random kisses off random people. It was just bizarre.
Trollop.
It was great. I didn't sleep for 2 days.
The money
like
is
that.
so you will have money all year, and the coal is so you will always be warm.
Got fire for your heart.
In Scotland, when I've been in Scotland for New Year or Hogmanay, I didn't know this one. You eat the New Year, the old year out and the New Year in. So you eat just before midnight. You obviously say Happy New Year, sing Auld Lang Syne, and then you eat again. And the theory being
Sounds like a tradition I can get behind.
that you will always have food.
Excellent.
And the same thing, you put a pound or a coin in a pot and it stays there all year. Nobody's allowed to touch it, no matter how desperate you are. If you wanted to buy a packet of fags or anything else, I'm going to buy a Scottish thing or a Mars bar to fry. Or,
Shot of whiskey.
you weren't allowed to take the coin. It had to stay there because that meant that you would have money all year.
Lang may your lum reek. Yes. I would never have remembered that unless you'd have just said it. And that's just giving me a random flashback. Because that's all I said that night. Completely bladdered out of my head.
Of course, Mike was in Scotland.
Yeah.
It's me toting out all the Scottish stuff. You already
Long
know all
may
of this.
your loom reek.
To
Yeah.
be fair though,
Another
my
one is-
family might just be odd.
Well, yeah.
And they could just be making stuff up.
Another one Michael has said that I'd thought of as well, which
Yeah.
is the itchy hand and the palm. Money in, money out sort of logic.
Yeah.
That was another one my grandma used to say.
Left in, right out.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Now again, where's that come from? Is that just because we tend to
See,
pay with stuff with
you
our
said
right
it the
hand?
other way round. It depends where you're from.
Yeah, so left leaving. Because there was another one my grandma used to say, if you dropped a knife on the floor, you weren't supposed to pick it up yourself. You should get somebody else to pick up a dropped knife,
Why?
because it means you've got conflict coming. And if somebody else picks it up, it defers the conflict away
If you
from you.
just stand there and stare at a knife on the floor and go, pick that up, there is going to be conflict.
I'm just saying, it's one of these superstitions. Steak pie before the bells? Yeah.
Yeah. Eating. Eat before, eat after, then you'll always have food.
Yeah. So yeah, the knife one, that's just, and the itchy hand one, that was what I thought of, and then Michael's put the comments up there. So what else ones we got? What other sort of... They're not so much superstitions. I think superstitions are a male... you got... So Michael's it was a male visitor. I always got told it was a conflict. So it was an argument coming, or...
Brooms fell. If the broom falls, company's coming.
Right, okay.
Our Dan says that every time. Broom fell, company's coming. It was like, you're already here. Who else is coming? Lock the door.
But why do we have them? Why do we have these superstitions? Oh yeah, I get the religious ones because they're creating, I mean, that Friday the 13th thing. started off as that's just control of humans.
It is, all of it is control.
And then Hollywood gets a hold of it, and you've got Friday the 13th and Jason.
You've got horror movies.
Yeah, I get the kind of progression of that, and then now us tattoo people are claiming it back. But things like the first footing sort of stuff, they're traditions that could be kept going.
Because there was nothing else.
But not under COVID, because you can't go anywhere.
There was nothing else to do.
No, exactly. There was no...
boring.
Yeah, there was no internet.
Oh, what were the name of the men that was it in Scotland or might be Ireland? The men that come, is it for New Year? And they just basically, you have to let them in. They cause absolute mayhem, but you have to give them a drink, and they just go house to house.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember if that's Scotland or Ireland, to be fair. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't remember
That's
that.
a tradition. And they were quite frightening, and I think some of the Halloween tradition of knocking the doors, oh, that might be linked to Halloween, of knocking the doors for treats, came from that original tradition.
Right.
And that if you didn't give them a drink or you didn't let them in, you would have bad luck, which would be the trick. First footers. Were they called the first footers?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. It was always first footing.
Yeah, but no,
around
it
the
was
village.
a much darker story.
That I think we're on the same story, but it's just done nowadays nicely. You sort of travel around and you've got your gifts
Usually
and
a
stuff.
black-haired person.
But that did just remind me that we used to, where I grew up, we used to have a thing called blackening, which I'm assuming it's still called that now, where the bride to be is put in the back of a bogie on the back of a trailer and then it's just thrown shit at her. Flour, sugar, milk, everything. She just gets
Let's
covered in
not go
absolutely
there to get
everything, and it was called a blackening.
Nuptials.
Round the village in a trailer. I've seen those loads.
Let's not do that.
But yeah, I think they was called first footers, but it was a bit more kind of
Dark.
before now it's
It's
a
a
bit
lot
more.
more menacing and
I think
frightening.
Michael
and
might know.
I think Michael knows a lot. I think Michael should join in with the chat one week.
I tell you what, I've got an idea.
Oh,
I've
God.
just had an idea. When we get our StreamYard set up, which hopefully will be next week, we could have a guest person come on and just join us for a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you fancy it? Michael, you could actually come and join us live, possibly next week if I get the system set up.
And we think of a topic, obviously.
Yeah, it was bad luck to not let in the first footers.
Yeah, but it was a lot more menacing.
Yeah, no, it was my day and age. It was just get pissed at other people's houses. So yeah, but no, the blackening, that was I'd never wondered whether that was a Scottish thing or just.
Oh, he's shy. Bless.
Have a think about it. It's fine.
Another day, no
If
pressure.
anybody else is watching and wants to, perhaps come and join us and tell. I don't know. Speak to. I don't know. I'll think about it more. It's an idea. I have kind of brain farts like this.
Yeah. I know it's not a superstition, it's a tradition. But I don't know why we do it, which is, what is the tying the cans and boots on the back of a car when somebody gets married?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Just to
know
make a
why we do
racket to
that.
draw attention.
So that everybody knows that they're off for their...
Yeah, well, that's what marriage is all about, isn't it? It's showing off to everybody else. Not that I'm.
Words of a bitter man. So what other superstitions are there?
I don't know, superstition-wise. It kind of got to the extent of what mine were. The black cats, the kind of ones that you see as
That
you get.
everybody
Yeah, you
knows.
get told of as a kid. That's why I was sort of trying to figure out if there was newer versions of these. Do we have kind of cautionary tale quips like that?
No, because if they're used as cautionary tales, nobody listens anymore.
They do if it's a
Everybody's
meme.
Online. It's got to
Yeah.
be a meme, yeah.
A 3-second video on YouTube or a meme, and then you've got people's attention.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, can you guys think of any more? Or have we exhausted? I'm sure there was more. I did think of some others.
There is going to be more, but I ran out of paper.
I know another one.
Oh,
It's
God.
another one my mum used to say to me. if you were going to leave the house and you had to turn around and go back for any reason, you had to sit down. So if you, I don't know, we were going out and you go, oh, I forgot something, you go back into the house, my mum would go sit down, and I swear to God she would not let us go anywhere
I've heard of that.
until you'd sat down and restarted your journey again. It was bad luck in her eyes to go back in the journey and then go forward again.
I had heard of that.
So yeah, that was one I thought I've heard it, and it just sprung back into my head. I always thought it was a bit weird.
But I don't know why I've heard of that.
Yeah, I just assumed it was my mum. She was mental. that's one of many mental things.
Let's just be as offensive as we can in one evening.
Not being offensive. You told me to be good. I think I'm behaving, and
Like you ever listen.
No, that's very true.
It is true.
So yeah, I don't know. Have we got any more?
I can't think of any other superstitions, to be fair.
No.
Do you know what? We've got an encyclopedic knowledge of stuff behind us.
But not so much superstitions.
There must be something there. There's predictions.
No. I don't think of any. We haven't got any books that talk about stupid, because they're all kind of old wives' tales, isn't they? Like you say, I mean, a lot of these have got regional differences, even between Scotland to things at Yorkshire, then to things down south. I'm sure there's probably some London-based kind of, there'd be different ones.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like fishermen would have different ones, like you said about crows and stuff.
The cup you keep by your door in London.
Oh yeah, cup of cold piss. Right, that's old school, but I did always wonder what my mum used to say that as a kid. If somebody wasn't worth a cup of cold piss, it was like,
not worth the steam off my piss.
It's being a bit offensive now. Stop looking at books. We haven't got books
I
on
know
stuff.
that I've got something, and I can't remember which book it is, that says about superstitions. But come on, people, work for it. Work for it.
Well, no, we have kind of almost come to the end anyway. We're sort of in the last 15 minutes. We've covered quite a lot. There's a lot of superstitions, and a lot of them are effectively out of date now. Because we know that seeing magpies or a cat walking past, I mean, that's a daily occurrence here. We own a black cat.
Yeah, we do own a black cat.
So I'm constantly dancing with the devil, apparently, in my own house.
Well, you are, yeah, because he doesn't like me.
Oh, well, yeah. But no, I get the kind of superstitions were there, but I just don't see that they don't really play a relevance now, do they?
Right, what you don't do is you don't say Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman. It's like Beetlejuice. It's just...
Don't say the other one.
What, Bloody Mary?
Don't do it.
Do it live on Facebook.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I won't do it. But that is a superstition. They're all of these kind of...
Oh, in Russia, you're not allowed to say happy birthday to somebody early because they see that as bad luck. If
So
you
you
do it
couldn't say happy
before
birthday
the
for tomorrow?
day, it will bring bad luck. Yeah, you can't do that.
You're cheating now and Googling stuff.
I
aren't
am, because there's weird people all over the world. In Mexico, you can't have facing mirrors open a doorway for the devil, so you can't have mirrors that face each other because the devil will come through.
But they're not, they're just things from around the world. I get that, but it's not...
Give a penny if you receive something sharp. Gifting anything with a blade can sever a relationship. If you receive a knife or a pair of scissors. I knew that one. The person should, if you receive them, you should give them a coin. So it's as if you bought them. So you give a penny.
Yeah, no, there was some ornaments when I was a kid that were like a little shield and a swords like that. And my grandma took them to bits because they didn't want crossed swords hanging on the wall.
Because it means conflict.
Yeah. But at the same time, she used to, whenever she gave us a wallet or a purse to the kids, they always had a penny in it.
If you remember when we were talking
And why do they say if you find a penny, pick it up your whole day through, you'll have good luck?
I want to see you try and pick me up.
No, but it's just a penny. Why
I
would
don't
it?
know,
Why
but
would that?
I do that, and you're right. That's a superstition. I do that all the time.
I pick up pennies now because it's perfectly
because
legal
there's
tender.
money you didn't have.
Well, yeah, it's still a penny, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yes, this is a good one.
Oh, there we go. Michael's just put out there. If you
If
find a
one
penny, pass it on. No, you're not having my penny.
Nice try. Yeah, I forgot about this one. You don't make toast with water.
No, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, but why? Apparently, it comes from Greek mythology. If you make a toast or cheers with water, you're wishing death upon the people you're drinking with. I can think of a few people I should have
It's a
drunk that
bit
with.
extreme, blimey.
Yeah.
So anyway, come on, we've only got the last 10 minutes. Stop Googling for answers.
I'm
This
getting
is like,
excited
it's
now.
like watching one of them YouTube channels where they don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, so we've spent 50 minutes talking about superstitions.
Yeah.
And there's some that are they are pretty much old wives' tales. I get that. Some that are regionally dependent, because I would imagine that there is more. There'd be so many regional differences. I think between fishermen having their versions. I mean, there's old ones, isn't there? With
Aye, with whiskey.
always with water. There's only two things you should ever add to whiskey: water or more whiskey. What was I saying? Yeah, regional
differences.
So regional stuff. I'm sure kind of fishing areas had certain things. If there was like the mining one, the Yorkshire, the shoes on the table, there's a slight difference there. And
It's
I
not
also
just up north though, because there was tin mines in Cornwall.
yeah, I'd be interested to know if that was carried on in the mines in America as well. I'm tempted to contact that bloke I follow in America that owns that mine, just to ask him that random question to see if that was
What was the
applicable then.
question?
That when a miner died, in memory of them, they put their shoes on the table. I don't know if that would have been in America as well, bearing in mind that the miners there started here. They didn't start there. So all of that kind of migration, did it all transfer over there with it? No, never water another man's whiskey.
That's true. Yeah. So we do it though. We follow these superstitions, and sometimes we don't even know that we do it.
But that's given magpies a sense of superiority to other birds, hasn't it?
I don't think the magpies are
Magpies
listening. To
have
be fair.
crows. No, but they're more revered now because they've got that story that goes with them. Crows and
No, but
ravens.
they're deemed bad luck. It's the same as one flew in front of the car a few weeks ago. Do you remember? Was I in the car with you?
No, I don't remember that.
And I went, don't let me hit magpie, because magpie means death.
It does if you hit it with the car. For the
No,
magpie.
it means death for the magpie, but it also means death for you.
It doesn't know.
Yeah, but it does.
But what I'm saying is it's
Unless
ended
you
up
hit
with
a
it.
pigeon, they go pop.
You know, it wouldn't have been quite the same if people had said, if you spot the lucky rat. Because people in London would have been really lucky. They spotted the lucky rat. But it wasn't. It was the lucky magpie. The more kind of...
Yeah,
And then
no,
the ravens of
we-
London Tower. Different animals get revered in different ways.
Yeah, because that's a superstition.
Yeah. So that some have a negative connotation, some have a positive. So the rabbit kind of one.
They are.
It's not good for the rabbit. Oh, are they? I did
Yes.
not know that.
Similar.
That would explain Corvus. I can't remember what it is. The sound is in my head, but the words are not. Corvus, something or other's crow. It's the Latin
Okay.
name, Latin for crow. But other ones, like if I bought a new pair of trainers and put them on the counter in the kitchen, you'd have an absolute fucking shit
Yes.
fit. And they'd be swiped off there quick, but it wouldn't make any difference because they're not shoes, they're trainers for a start.
It doesn't matter, they go on your feet.
Nobody's died, so we're not in memory of anybody. And I'm not
So
tempting.
why are you doing it?
But how am I tempting fate using something as a means of transport for me to go places? Because it's a pair of shoes or trainers.
Because for me, shoes on a table mean there's going to be a body.
So even though that's a really old,
Yes.
we'd still go and buy that.
Yes.
Okay, just you heard it here first, folks.
It's true.
Apparently, if I put my
bought
shoes
some
on the table, I'm going to
I
die.
bought some shoes for work. I bought some shoes, and I went in the kitchen,
What
and I
work?
went not even on the cabinet, and put them on the seat, on the stool.
But I think we do. I think it's so ingrained in us as kids. And like I say, I would be really interested if there is American viewers on there or viewers from other countries that sort of go, oh yeah, this is something that's kind of
Yeah, absolutely.
not so much the ones that you can Google, just sort of little local area ones.
Yeah. A lot of the ones we've said are really popular.
Yeah, they're the standard
Well
issue ones, aren't
known.
they?
Yeah. But I'd be interested in the other country ones.
But yeah, that was the talking point for this evening. Last week we spoke about
Graveyards.
The week before that it was hexes and curses. We try and pick something topical. We do a bit of research into it, so we've got a bit of
Because
shit
the
to talk
purpose
about.
of these are discovery circles,
Yeah.
where we learn something new. And in the interim of not being able to meet up with people in person, where we can bounce off each other with ideas, it's kind of us talking at you.
We don't want
Sorry.
that. But no, I hope you've enjoyed it. I think time's gone really quick. We've covered quite a lot of stuff.
We have.
So yeah, we've got top fan Michael Shalley. Top fan badge.
Shalley or Shayley?
Shalley.
I'd have said Shayley.
We'll just go with Michael.
You're just going to type your surname, and you're still going to be none the wiser on the pronunciation.
But no, I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it. It's been fun. It's just a random gibber about something.
I've got to say, this afternoon when I finished doing the gardening, I thought, would it be wrong to cancel this evening? I'm so tired.
Yeah, I wanted to have a nap
And
this
I was
afternoon.
so hot.
Didn't.
And then,
So if you're watching this and think, God, them pair look knackered, that's why.
yes, very red. You can't see, but it is very red on my back.
Michael's put, it's been fun. Excellent.
Shalley.
Shalley. Excellent.
Now you're making it worse.
Shalley.
Shalley.
So, yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
How many did you say we've done? This is
16.
16th. Yeah, we stopped sort of saying how many episodes we've done. I think the feed's been all right. The sound's been all right. People can let me know if
there's
there's...
a bit dodge again.
Yeah, the lights, it's a temperamental one because we've got a window there and a window there, and I don't want to sit in a dark room that's like a studio because it doesn't feel airy then.
And we're using a different camera tonight.
Yeah, we are using the new, what I call the Frankenstein camera because I made it.
Because it's mainly held together with tape.
It is a lot of electrical tape, but if you Google and try and look for a webcam at the minute, they're like rocking or shit, and they're really expensive if they're any good at quality. So
Yeah.
I found one that was good quality and made one.
Yeah. To be
So-
honest, the priority was the computer.
Yeah, it was. So, but yeah, right. As is tradition, if you could all hit the love heart things on the screen because I love seeing them up the screen because it's cool.
I don't know if you'll see it if it's on that little camera.
Oh, I might do. I need to put it onto that big camera then. But it always distracts me because my face is there.
I know.
It confuses me as well because when I lean left, I swing right. When it's the right way around for you guys, but it's totally the wrong way around for us.
It's because we've used different cameras every time, and some of them flip the picture and some of them don't.
Yeah, this is the first week we've not had to use my iPhone, to do it. That's what we were doing it all on before. So, shout out to Apple. So, right, I'm not seeing any love hearts. They're not. I don't think
They
they're
don't love
working.
us
I
anymore.
don't think it works when we're on
Well,
this kind of
they're all-
screen.
They're all bald.
I think they're there. I just think we don't think we can see them.
Alright.
Right, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
How are we going to say goodbye in our professional Wiccan Warrior sort of way?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Ta-ra!
I don't know either. Yeah, ta-ra. Ta-ra a bit.
Ta-ra, beat.
Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We're going to go because we've waffled on for a bit. It was a good topic. I enjoyed that. Any suggestions for next week? If it's not too hot and stuff like this, I'd like to go out and do something out and about. What?
Got a comment.
Marion, thank you. Really interesting. Never actually knew some of those superstitions came from. Michael, it's all fine. Excellent. I'm going. Come on, let's go. We will see you next Sunday. Don't know if
Finish on a song. Let's not.
No, I don't know about singing. I'm not a singy kind of person.
No. And I'm not doing it. What about Old Lang Syne? No, let's go. I think we're done.
Right. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As a last ditch attempt, if you've enjoyed it, share it. Share it out with your friends. Have a chat about it. Talk to people about us in a good way, hopefully.
Yeah.
Spread the word. Let's have some more crazy people on a Sunday sharing
you
information.
want to watch them too? They're properly weird. Do it.
And if you want something slightly more men's health and life coachy, on a Wednesday evening I do a solo where we just randomly see what falls out of my head. And this week I'm going to be talking about trust. Building trust, how to not get hung up on trusting people.
Don't give too much away.
No.
We have nothing to talk about.
No, it'll be fine.
Marion might not be able to see us because she's going away.
Ah.
And the signal drops out. Doesn't matter, you can watch it back after.
Yep, or you can listen to it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. Right, we're going. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks. Bye.